Minister of Humanitarian Affairs. And of course, if you have been seeing the news, it has been making rounds all and about, everyone talking about how it's just 6 months and you're losing such amount of money and everything and all of the stories, basically. Now, there are many sides a lot of people will want to look at it because I have been following the story closely and we see Nigerians talking about the fact that is it possible that this person perhaps is being framed? But again, when we were growing, when we were doing social studies and economics and all of those subjects in secondary school, one thing I will never forget is how my economics teacher always emphasized the need to protect your signature. Because one of many things could have gone wrong. It is possible that actually had happened from her end. She actually did take the money and, she did request that that amount of money is paid into her personal bank account. But it is also possible that her signature was used to approve such an amount of money. I'm just trying to look at it from the different angles and, trying to speak on some of the reactions I've seen Nigerians and the speculations I've seen Nigerians make. Other people are of the opinion that, of course, a lot of people are disappointed in the fact that, we have a woman representing us, because for a very long time we have been saying, yes, we want representation, female representation in all of these places. We want women to take on more responsibilities. We want them to assume more positions and have more offices and all of that. And then someone comes into office 6 months later, we're hearing such allegations or we're hearing such speculations around about this person. I mean, a lot of Nigerians feel brokenhearted, especially that, they're rooting for someone like this. You have gotten into the office, you've secured the position. Now we want to see you perform there. 6 months later, there are threats of you being completely out of the office because as we speak, she has been suspended. And she was denied access to the villa and her pass was seized. This all happened yesterday. And now a lot of people are trying to distance themselves from the situation. Recall yesterday we talked about how the AGF, you are supposed to pay, it's already in the constitution. Private monies should not be paid to government accounts and government's money should not be paid to private accounts. It is stated in the constitution. But again, how many of these people take our time to see what the constitution says about a certain matter? The moment we stop treating public offices as our personal offices, as our personal achievement or our personal spaces, a lot of things would be done rightly. Someone brings a personal account for you to pay government money into. The point where you were supposed to raise a brow was, why is this money being... Questions should be asked. Questions should be asked at that point. But again, it's scaled through from that point, and now it has gotten to this point where the money has already been paid, and now we have allegations of fraud, lying, and flying up and about. It is important to exercise caution and care when you're dealing with public offices. This does not only apply to the government, because we see these things happen in private offices as well. Exercise caution in dealing with public properties is not the same as private properties. Now, we also see that the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji, yesterday, a lot of names were being called in the course of these, speculations that some people did, benefit from all of that. He denied personally benefiting through his company, the New Planet project, from the sum of 431.1 million naira from the alleged fake 3 billion social register contract by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, headed by Dr. Betta Edo. Now, like I said, a lot of people are trying to distance themselves. And Nigerians have been of the opinion that maybe we should just scrap this ministry completely out, because it's looking like a conduit pipe where everyone, like anybody who gets to that position, would want to just siphon money for themselves, because certain structures have not been laid down, and maybe job description have not been clearly pointed out. What is this ministry meant for? Because again, Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation is supposed to help people, the grassroots people, the rural communities, suburbs, people suffering from one thing or another. This is what it's supposed to mean. I mean, the literal meaning of the ministry, right? What then will be the responsibility of the local government? Because some of these ministries and some of these associations and some of these agencies that are being created, we have agencies that will function in that capacity as well. But we keep making up newer offices, newer ministries, newer how do I call it? Newer things, when we have the older ones who would function in that capacity. What will the local government be doing? This also should be their primary responsibility. Helping the less privileged in their community, right? But again, we find a way to just move all of these responsibilities to the federal government. And how much can the federal government do? Can their eyes be everywhere? Absolutely not. That's why we have the governors. And the governors' eyes cannot even be everywhere in the state. That is why we have local government chairmen, because they will report to the governor. But in their own level, in their own capacity, they will try to, function in that regard. Again, the former Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, who Betta Adu just took from 6 months ago, finally has made her way to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission office, because she has been invited severally, but she has been absent. But we see that she has finally submitted herself for investigation at the headquarters of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in Abuja. She's been probed over the sum of 37,170,855,754 naira, 0.44 kobo in the exact, figures, that was allegedly laundered under her watch through a contractor, James Okwute, arrived at the EFCC yesterday. That was on Monday morning, and she was billed to face crack activities of the EFCC at around 10 a.m. last Wednesday over alleged fraud, but was absent, citing health challenges. Now, that's about that for the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. Now, we also see that the court fined EFCC 100 million naira for unlawful detention of the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. So the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja declared the prolonged detention of the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, without trial as flagrant violation of his fundamental right. And the court slammed a total of 100 million naira fine against the federal government and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, and barred them from rearresting or detaining the ex-CBN governor at fresh against without a valid court order. But again, we see that the EFCC expresses dissatisfaction with the judgment, vowing to go on appeal. This is the update we have as regards the former CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele. The EFCC is not willing to pay that amount of money for, as fine for unlawful detention. And this is a case that had been on for a very long time. We also see that the secondary school teachers in Taraba must have master's degree. This is what the governor, Agbu Keifas, says. He says that school teachers in Taraba must have master's degree. The Taraba state government is set to make master's degree the minimum academic requirement for anyone intending to teach in the state's secondary school. Now, the state governor, Agbu Keifas, who disclosed this on Sunday, January 7th, also said that the minimum academic qualification for primary school teachers will be a university first degree. Now, he was speaking with journalists in Jalingo, the state's capital, and he said that the current era, when the National Certificate of Education is the minimum academic qualification for primary school teachers, will soon be over. And according to him, in no distant time, primary school teachers in the state must be first degree holders, while secondary school teachers must have a minimum degree of to enhance the quality of education in the state. And very soon we'll be seeing that the universities will only have professors to be lecturers in such universities. I don't know how this is, but in his words, he says we must secure a good future for our children. A free education policy is not a joke, and anybody who stands on the way to achieving this will be crushed. Again, can you pay master's degree holders can you pay them to be secondary school teachers? Can you pay them what they actually deserve? But I'm not dwelling on that. Let's move on to Kogi State a bit. We see that there's been crisis in Kogi, Abuja, Lokoja Road, as outgoing Governor Yahya Bello disposes the traditional rulers. He appoints a new Ohinoi of Ebira land. And yesterday, I think it was Olumide who was talking about decentralization of power. Too much power given to a governor, too much power given to a head of state, too much power flying around. And you make the position of these traditional rulers inconsequential. Because before now, we have seen these people act in various capacities. They've been able to settle disputes amicably. If you read history, you'd understand the role of traditional rulers in governing. But the moment we start interfering in that, in their jurisdiction, we want to center the power to a particular place alone. We might just be shooting ourselves in the leg. We just might be doing the wrong thing. But I open up the phone lines right now. Let's keep our conversations going through with your contributions on 09073530044 or 09087668888. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mata.
Welcome and thanks for joining us.
Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Thank you, Abubakar from Gogolada.
Abu Bakar, it's good to have you join us.
Thank you. We've seen how the so-called palliatives meant for the downtrodden are being misused, looted, and mismanaged by ministers in charge of Humanitarian Affairs Ministry in the past and now. So the best form of palliative to me is a general palliative that flows in the pipeline. That is oil subsidy. Oil subsidy has the capacity to reach unborn babies in their mother bellies. It has the capacity to reach young, old, big or small. Even dead people enjoy the benefits of palliative because people will transport their dead ones home very cheaply, not exorbitantly. So it is business. It may economy flourish. People have a buoyant economic activities. But contrarily now, you remove the subsidies, you enforce some element with the sharing of the palliative, they become not unto themselves. They are helping themselves with the loot, which is a permanent thing in governance. In Nigeria, as Nigeria is concerned, there is fraud, endemic fraud and scam in implementation of government policies. Until we scrutinize our policies, we restructure and sanitize policy, the structure of our governance, it will continue. It will be business as usual. It's very unfortunate.
All right.
And so thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Abu Bakar. Thank you for joining us on the show. Let's keep it coming through on 09073530044 or 09087668888. You can also be a part of this conversation by sending us a message on WhatsApp on 09097054450. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Mata. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Yes. My name is GB.
All right, GB, welcome. Let's hear you.
Yes. I'm surprised though. If the people running an affairs ministry are not doing the right thing, you are now saying they should scrap the whole ministry. Is it the ministry that offend us? No. The people there have the want to change. If you have to scrap the institution because the people who are to run it misbehave, then nothing will remain in Nigeria. But I believe that to get the right people in the right place, things can function. Like NDLE. Now this drug something now. Before Babu Mariwa got there, it was like not existing. It was like a dead zone. The Mariwa got there 2 or 3 years ago, and in fact, what they have done is surpass what they have done since the creation of that agency. I mean, Akinyuli was in NAFDAC. Before he got there, was like not existing. It did a wonderful job. So I don't think it's the agency or the institution that had the problem. I think the people that
they're
to
being
change.
put there. Okay.
So, and the president has done the right thing by suspending the minister and ask for thorough investigation so that they can overhaul. If there are loopholes, lacuna, people have used to steal money there, they will block leakages. Things can be automated so that you don't see much influence. I mean, all the money transfer, all the transfer something, they can get the right people to give them the right platform so that money will go direct to people, not through a third party, not through somebody.
Yeah.
I think the ministry is for a purpose and it performs its function.
All right.
By the way, I want to say, having suspended the minister, he has not been indicted. It will allow for investigation.
Of course.
So that we will not say, when the investor appears, he say, no, President said you still have today. I'm to attend one meeting tomorrow. He cannot go and meet them. If it's for a whole day, they have a host there. They can keep her as many they going to keep her, they get that information. And also, it will not influence any file. Say, okay, remove this document from this file. You take this one away. That's why the president suspended her. We are waiting for the outcome of this suspension. Me, I'm very much interested.
Of course.
Because, let me tell you, what he has done is not that it has not been done before. Maybe the way he carried it out. Maybe some level of arrogancy. Because like in any ministry for a minister, there's somebody in the ministry, they will give you as an advisor. Who will be telling you, don't do this. So this is the way we run this place. So go in direction. Maybe they did not listen to that person or he was misled. Something happened. Because number one, that money is too much to transfer a whole into somebody's account.
Yes.
Let me they have been by transferring money to the people's account. I have many to do with government. There was a time we have some program for people, over 1,000 people there. The people that came to pay them because they had to resume, they said they will pay them for transport allowance, allowance before they resume. The civil servant